Hello everybody, and welcome to the first video for how to use SPSS. This is a video I'm making for my Social Work 110 Section 6 Statistics course. This is spring 2019, and I gave you guys the instructions yesterday for how to download SPSS, and if you've done so, and you've done so correctly, you're going to go ahead and click on the icon from your desktop or from the Programs menu, and you're going to come up with a screen that looks like this. And it's probably unfamiliar to you if you've never looked at this before. But the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is just go ahead and X out of this box that's first in the foreground. You don't need it, okay? Now, what you have behind it is what looks like an Excel sheet, but it's got some columns with labels. And I'm going to walk you through a little bit today about how to put in variables for specifically a chi-square problem, okay? So if you take a look at this screen, you're going to notice that at the top there's a lot of little tabs you could go to, which are used for analyzing the data. But of course, before you can use any of these, you have to put the data in. And that's a process unto itself. So I'm going to get you to try to follow me for a moment as I walk you through these steps. When you first take a look at the screen, you're going to notice at the very bottom there's going to be two tabs. You can just follow my arrow down there. Okay, data view, okay, that's what that looks like, and the variable view. Since we're going to enter variables, we're going to start with the variable view. That's what this clip is really all about. So I'm thinking of a chi-square scenario, and the chi-square scenario involves a social worker who's interested in knowing whether or not representation in court correlates with specific outcomes. And in particular, what I'm thinking of is this particular social worker wants to know if for DUI cases, representation by a lawyer is a factor or at least correlated with an outcome of being convicted or not guilty. So to put this in chi-square terms, here's what we're going to do. We already know that there's two variables here, representation and outcome. For representation, there's two attributes. You can either be represented by a lawyer or not. And for the outcome, you can either be found guilty or you can be found not guilty. So again, these are nominal level variables. So here's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to come up here to where it says 1, where we have row number 1, rows run, columns climb. And I'm going to say represented. Okay, that would be legal representation. Okay, so once I have put in that variable and I hit the button tab, look what opens up. Aha! Well, we see this column says numeric. We don't have to worry about that. Okay, width, again, not something you're too concerned about. Decimals, again, minimal value for us today. That's not one of the columns I'm concerned with. But labels, that's one that's kind of, you can add something in here. I'm going to go ahead and just repeat represented. Okay, oops, if I can spell it right. Represented. Okay, that's fine. It just mirrors the name of the variable in the label. It doesn't really matter. You don't even actually have to use label. As the big thing is making sure that you put a title for the variable in the beginning of the row. Okay, where things start to matter is in this column called values. If I just press once on values, I get a new little pop-up screen, and it says value labels. So because I know that you can either be represented or not represented in court, I'm going to go ahead and type in 1, and then I'm going to hit tab, and I'm going to say represented. Okay, and then all I have to do now is bring the arrow down and hit add and watch what it does. Number 1 equals represented. So clearly, if that is a category or an attribute for this variable, I can put the other one in as well. 2 is going to equal not represented. Aha, okay, I'm going to hit add. There we go. Once those two are in place, I can go ahead and hit OK. And then I can see up here that it says missing none. I don't need to deal with that. Columns 8, again, it doesn't matter. Alignment, right, that's just for convenience. But here's where it gets a little more interesting, measure, okay? I'm going to go ahead and hit one tap on the computer now, and it says that my measurement can either be scale, ordinal, or nominal. Well, scale actually means interval ratio, and if you think back to the category of represented or not represented, you can only be in one or the other, but not both. These are mutually exclusive categories. The level of measurement is nominal. So because the level of measurement is nominal, I'm just going to go down to nominal and tap on it. There you go. Let's go to the second row now. I was saying that this is a correlation or not, or I'm trying to find a correlation between whether or not you are represented and the outcome you experience in a DUI case. So for this particular variable, I'm just going to put outcome. Okay, outcome, and again, I'm going to hit tab. Ah, there they are. Okay, type, numeric, it's okay. With 8, again, fine. Decimals, 2, doesn't really matter. Let's go to label. I'm just going to put outcome again because I could call it anything and it really doesn't matter. You don't even have to use it, but I'm just going to go ahead and give that a label. What really matters are the values again. So I'm going to tap on this, okay? And so for 1, I'm going to put, okay, guilty. And I'm going to hit add. And then for the other outcome, I'm going to put not guilty. Okay. And then I'm going to hit add. Okay. Once again, I'm hitting OK. Look at that. Okay. So that is where that needs to be. And then I'm going to come over again. Columns 8, fine. Alignment right. Yeah, that's okay. Measurement. Okay. You can either be guilty or not guilty, but not both at the same time. So again, we're looking at a nominal level of measurement. So under the measurement column, I'm going to just go ahead and tap nominal. There it is. Okay. Now what did this do? Well, we entered the variables we plan to use for this chi-square, and if you follow my arrow down to the data view, watch what's going to populate. Ah, look at that. So we have represented and outcome as the 2 columns now. I'm going to make some more videos based on this, but I just wanted you to take this very slowly and step by step so that you can get a handle on what we're doing here. So I'm going to stop now, and when I create the next video, we're going to pick up right where we left off. Thanks for watching.